All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're here to check out the Hiley Tiger EVO. This is a 2,000 watt dual motor scooter that is made really for the everyday rider. So we've already been riding this for a couple of days, but first, let's talk about some of the specs. Coming up in front, one of the nicest things I've seen on a price point like this scooter, $1249, by the way, currently on sale. Make sure to go check them out. Dual hydraulic nut brakes. And then coming in down here, we have the nut full brake system as well. 10-inch pneumatic tires. Now these are, as you can see, street tires, but we're gonna be testing this thing off-road like we always do. You guys know how it works. The suspension in this thing, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. It's amazing. This is probably one of the smoothest scooters I've ever driven in my life. Very impressed so far. Now, come on in here, let's take a look at some closer things here. Look at these actual connectors here. This right here is the connector for the front hub motor. And there are just certain things after seeing all of these different scooters we have reviewed that really stand out. Like the threaded connectors for the motor cable. Most of them are press-in, given you're not gonna have an issue most of the time, but it's just nice to see those little touches. Next up, we have the folding mechanism. Guys, most of the time, the most we have is a dual safety folding mechanism. This is a 3-mode safety. Safety setting number 1, you have an actual threaded screw. It's not very deep. It's not really made to hold a lot of pressure. It's to stop accidents from happening. Then you fold it down. It has a secondary latch here, but look, still not folding. That's because we also have the third safety, the pull pin right here on the side. So you can see you have 3 different safety mechanisms. This thing is never going to come loose on you unless you want it to. And it's pretty quick to put back up just with a simple threaded screw. So again, this unit is made for daily commuting, but it's not slow either. Top speed's around 43 miles an hour, has a 22.5 amp hour battery. So if you drive it nicely, you're probably gonna get low 40s on your maximum mileage. It does go up to 50, but again, we all know it's not the most realistic standard in the world because who's really gonna ride it on mode 1 the whole time? You might. Me personally, that's not how I ride. Now, back to some of the testing we've already been doing. We had this out on July 4th. That was my first day riding it. It was a really fun time. The lighting on this thing gets everybody's attention. So if you don't want attention, just know you can turn the lights off. You can adjust them how you want. I kept them rotating all sorts of colors. Honestly, it was great. It was a lot of fun. The kids had zero trouble seeing me no matter where I was. Really cool. I love the lights. I'm not always about the bright flashy lights, but they just look really good on this unit. All right, so coming into the suspension here, guys, you can see it is the reverse cantilever type suspension, and look at this. I mean, it is soft, but it is adjustable. So if you weigh a little bit more, I weigh about 195 myself for a good comparison, you might want to tighten it up a little bit. But for me, it's perfect. It doesn't ever bottom out on me, and guys, you know me on scooters. We kind of send it. So that's enough of the intro. Let's get to riding. Now, a couple of pretty impressive things about the Tiger EVO itself is how well it handles the bumps. It's not an overly heavy scooter. It doesn't weigh a ton. Honestly, it comes in at about 64 pounds. A lot more reasonable than some of the recent scooters we've tested out, I tell you what. But that said, it handles the bumps like this sidewalk here. It looks smooth, guys, but it's a lot bumpier than you'd think. The city could use a little work on this one. Now, where this unit truly shines is definitely going to be on-road commuter type styles. That is the tires it comes with. Don't get me wrong, it has more than enough power for off-road, but if you really want to do a lot of off-roading, you're going to want some different tires. These tires are absolutely fantastic on the road, but even in a little bit of wet grass, they get a little bit squirrely, especially with the power that's going to each wheel. But that said, I mean, the thing rides absolutely fantastic on road, handles the bumps no problem, and, well, let's go ahead and test out the brakes because they work pretty good. Now, of course, guys, we saw a completely empty skate park and we just had to have a little bit of fun. Now, this is not something most people are ever going to do with electronic scooters or e-scooters or e-bikes, but if you get a chance and you're not really in anybody's way, Man, they are a lot of fun. Give it a try. You guys should totally be wearing helmets. Do as we say, not as we do. But seriously, it's a pretty good time. And you know, when you have nice tires and a really good setup on a scooter, it handles everything in here without any issues.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's sick footage. Let's do that.
Now again, just to talk a little bit more about the suspension. Like I said, guys, the suspension on this thing is great. I weigh about 200 pounds, give or take 10, depending on the day, but it handles roads and my weight without any question whatsoever. Seriously, a really, really comfortable ride. And of course, as we test out right here, it handles hills and inclines with absolutely no issue. You can see me just kind of messing with the suspension, feeling it out, bouncing my way up this hill. Now, it's not slowing down. I am slowing down because there's a car there and a stop sign, you know, safety and all that. Now, of course, guys, if everybody wants to know, what is the max speed? Well, guys, we did quite a few polls on this. Anywhere above 50% battery, this unit has absolutely no problem reaching about 42 miles per hour at my weight. Now, right here in this shot here, this is a little bit of an uphill too, and we still were able to hit 42. I wasn't quite able to hit that 43, but it didn't take long to get there, and man, it just feels so stable without any kind of additional stabilizer. No extra parts, no add-ons, and it just rolled fine without any issue. All right, guys, now's the part of the video where I'm going to show you guys exactly what we got for mileage compared to their claims. Now, on the website, they claim 50 plus miles on a single charge. Guys, I don't ever run in mode 1. I'm never going to run at half speed. I don't feel like that's how your average user is ever going to actually ride. So again, we don't test like that. But surprisingly, on road only with very minimal hills and riding in a lower mode, so not the max mode, I'm not full sending it. With both motors on, guys, we were actually able to get up to 40 miles on a single charge. Now, with a little bit of off-road, a little bit more ascending it, we were sitting closer to about 35, as you can see right here. So the most important thing, should I buy this scooter? Honestly, guys, I think it's a fantastic deal. Coming in around actually $11.49. The deal has gotten a little bit better since I started recording. We take about 3 to 4 weeks to finish each one of these videos, just so we can really run through at least 3 full batteries. Now, that said, there's a couple of massive advantages to going with a scooter from Hiley. Sure, you can find something like the GT08 a little bit cheaper, but are you going to get parts? Is it going to be reliable? Very hit or miss on a lot of those Chinese, Temu, AliExpress type scooters, where Hiley is one of the higher selling brands here in the US, so it's going to be way easier to find parts. The warranty is going to be a lot better, and in the end, it's probably going to have a little bit better parts. So yes, I totally think this is an absolutely reliable and solid scooter at a great price. I think it's totally worth buying. Now, of course, one of the biggest things about this scooter we didn't talk about was the water rating, which is another reason to buy this scooter, IPX7. That basically means you can drive this thing through a stream, and as long as you don't leave it sitting there overnight, it should be just fine. That said, I still don't recommend doing it, but it's really nice that scooters are finally starting to get waterproofed. Unlike in the old days where you drive through a puddle and now you got to replace a motor, a controller, potentially batteries. So that's going to be about it for this video, guys. Thank you to Hiley for sending this over. I really think this is a great buy. Honest opinions only from here at Unbox Analysis. We'll see you guys on the next one.